Okay, this 2026 NBA season is going to be hard. A reigning champion defending its crown, a falling giant staging a radical pivot, a Western contender fixing its one fatal flaw, a feel-good story trying to leap into contention, a rebellion against small ball, and two young cores that just went all in on superstardom. Last season's NBA, messy, unpredictable, and for some fans, tough to watch. Super teams collapsed, depth vanished when it mattered most, and even the biggest names cracked under playoff pressure. The numbers prove it. National TV ratings dipped, a reminder that people were tuning out because the drama wasn't delivering. Look around. Cleveland stormed to 64 wins, only to flame out when it mattered. Denver's bench fell apart the second Jokic sat. Milwaukee imploded in round one. Even the champions showed cracks in the armor. Predictability killed excitement. But this season, everything's changed. The top teams have woken up, patched their flaws, and reloaded with serious intent, which means the fight for the title and even the top 10 is about to get brutal. And it starts with the champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champion. Last year, they didn't just win, they dominated. 68 wins, number one in defense, number one in net rating, outscoring teams by nearly 13 a night. Historic stuff, the kind of numbers that scream dynasty in the making. But inside all that brilliance was a crack, the bench. On paper, the second unit looked fine, even led the league in scoring. But strip away the box score and the truth was brutal. When Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren sat, efficiency collapsed. Their offense dropped to bottom 10 levels, right alongside teams openly tanking. Depth on paper, collapse in reality. In a 7-game war, that split can be fatal. Sam Presti didn't ignore it. He kept the core locked in, Shai, Jalen Williams, Holmgren, and aimed directly at the depth problem with the 15th pick. Thomas Sorber, a rugged rim protector built to steady their second unit. But the plan unraveled before it began. Sorber tore his ACL in September and will miss the entire season. The same redshirt fate OKC already lived through with Chet Holmgren and Nikola Topic. Short term, that leaves OKC relying on Holmgren's added strength and versatile role players like Brooks Barnizer to plug the gap. If it all holds, OKC shifts from miracle run to dynasty run. But if the bench minutes collapse again, the same flaw could turn history into a one-year snapshot. The defending champion, building a dynasty, are exposed as a one-hit wonder. Next up, the Milwaukee Bucks, the wounded contender. Last season was rock bottom, trophyless, a first-round exit, and the Giannis Dame experiment never clicked. In the clutch, their offense cratered. Just a 100.0 offensive rating, 26 in the league. For a supposed super duo, it wasn't just disappointing, it was embarrassing. And the pain didn't stop there. The new CBA boxed them in. Their roster was aging fast and flexibility was gone. A contender left with no path forward. So the front office went drastic. Damian Lillard was waived after his Achilles tear, a brutal decision, but one that cleared the books. With the space, they built around a single idea, Giannis as the hub of everything. Miles Turner came in, a rim protector and floor spacer who keeps the lane clear while covering mistakes. Kevin Porter Jr. was added as a secondary creator, not a co-star, but a scorer who doesn't disrupt rhythm. Every move sharpened the roster around Giannis instead of forcing another ill-fitting duo. The stakes are unforgiving. If it works, Milwaukee proves they can rebuild without starting over, re-entering the title race on their own terms. But if the load crushes Giannis or defenses crack the system, the Bucks risk drifting into irrelevance. The wounded contender, fighting to rise again, or stuck in purgatory. Next up, the Denver Nuggets, the reinvention. 2 years ago, they looked untouchable. Jokic at his peak, Murray locked in, and a core built for dominance. But last season, the one quiet question became a screaming flaw, the bench. The moment Jokic sat, Denver collapsed. Their second unit scored just 26 points a night, bottom 5 in the league. Net rating, minus 4.5. That's a 10-point swing per 100 possessions, flipping them from title contender to lottery level. Even in their 2023 championship run, depth was shaky. This time, It cost them against OKC. So the front office acted. Michael Porter Jr. was moved out. In came Cam Johnson. Steady, efficient, reliable in big games. Jonas Valanciunas arrived to anchor the middle, finally giving Jokic a real backup who can rebound, score, and buy him rest. And the crown jewel? Bruce Brown's return. The Swiss Army knife from their title run. Defense, playmaking, energy, exactly what the bench had been missing. This wasn't tinkering, it was surgery. They attacked the wound directly, turning weakness into strength. If the fixes hit, Denver isn't just back in the race, they're deeper, tougher, and ready to match their superstar with a second wave. But if Jokic still has to carry every possession, the dynasty window slams shut. The reinvention? A second chance at dominance, or the end of an era. Next up, the Detroit Pistons. The leap. Last season, they shocked everyone. From the basement to 44 wins, tripling their total from the year before and sneaking into the playoffs. But the cracks showed fast. Detroit's offense was streaky, dragged down by cold shooting and a lack of reliable secondary creation. Too often, if Cade wasn't creating, possessions bogged down. The front office's answer wasn't flash, it was balance. Jaden Ivey's return to full health gives Cade the backcourt partner he's been missing. Karis LeVert adds a steady bench scorer and ball handler who can keep the offense afloat. And their shooting core has been reinforced, giving spacing that last year's team sorely lacked. The stakes are clear. If Ivey makes the leap and the supporting cast holds, Detroit isn't just a feel-good surprise anymore. They're knocking on the door of the East top tier. But if the young core stalls, they risk settling into NBA purgatory. Too good to bottom out, not quite ready to win big. The leap? From surprise to contender, or just another step to nowhere. Next up, the Portland Trail Blazers, the counter-revolution. Since Damian Lillard's exit, Portland's identity vanished. Failed experiments piled up. DeAndre Ayton bought out. A 26th-ranked offense, bottom third defense, and no direction. In a league built on speed and space, the Blazers were stuck in mud, irrelevant and unwatchable. So the front office didn't chase trends, they defied them. While most of the league went smaller and faster, Portland went bigger, much bigger. The centerpiece? Donovan Clingan and Yang Hansen. Two 7-footers with size, skill, and passing touch. Clingan erases shots at the rim and pounds the glass. Hansen, nicknamed the Chinese Jokic, punishes mismatches with vision and post play. Together, they form a wall the league hasn't seen in years. Around them, grinders like Denny Avdia and Toumani Camara add perimeter defense, hustle, and rebounding. And the boldest move? Trading Anthony Simons for Jrue Holiday, a proven leader, a two-way guard who steadies the backcourt while letting Scoot Henderson grow at his own pace. Holiday covers the perimeter, sets the tone, and teaches by example. This isn't tinkering, it's a revolution, a roster built to flip the math on today's NBA. If the Twin Towers click, Portland forces opponents into uncomfortable matchups and becomes a throwback contender. But if the experiment collapses under modern spacing, they're left behind as a relic. The counter-revolution? Bold enough to shock the league or bold enough to fail. Next up, the Los Angeles Lakers, the reset. When the team swung the blockbuster deal for Luka Doncic, the vision was clear, pairing him with LeBron James for a championship chase. The regular season hinted at success with 50 wins and a third-place finish in the West, but the postseason laid bare their flaws. The defense crumbled inside, with no true rim protector like AD to keep opponents out of the paint. Missed box-outs led to costly second-chance points, and the second unit routinely gave away momentum. Too often, the Lakers leaned entirely on Luka and LeBron to rescue games. By the time the pressure mounted, the lack of depth and balance proved fatal. Management responded by targeting those weaknesses directly. DeAndre Ayton was signed to anchor the paint, offering both shot blocking and a reliable inside scoring presence. Marcus Smart joined to fortify the perimeter and add toughness, leadership, and defensive grit. Jake LaRavia arrived as a floor spacer, while the return of healthier versions of Jared Vanderbilt and Maxi Kleber should bring more stability to the rotation. The roster now has a better mix of size, defense, and shooting than it did a year ago. The uncertainty lies in whether these pieces truly fit. If Ayton embraces the role of enforcer and Smart transforms the defense, Los Angeles can evolve from a two-star act into a complete contender. But if the same cracks resurface, Luka and LeBron may once again be left to carry the weight. With LeBron potentially entering his farewell season, this campaign could be their last, best chance at a title before the franchise shifts fully into the post-LeBron era. The reset, built for one final push, or the curtain call on a legendary career. But it's not just about the Giants anymore. The NBA isn't a cozy hierarchy, it's a knife fight across the top 10. And if the elite stumble, 4 hungry teams are ready to take their place. The Houston Rockets already had a defense that could choke games out, but late offense jammed. So they went loud. Kevin Durant. Even now, the most portable scorer in basketball, paired with Sengun's playmaking to finally give Houston a closer. The Orlando Magic guarded like veterans, top 2 in defense, but their offense dragged. Enter Desmond Bane, a movement shooter who bends spacing and unlocks Banchero and Wagner. Suddenly, the geometry changes. The Minnesota Timberwolves broke through to the conference finals only to collapse against OKC. Instead of doubling down, they pivoted. Karl-Anthony Towns was traded to the Knicks in a blockbuster that brought back Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. The move wasn't about stacking size, it was about financial survival under the new CBA. Randle's smaller deal and DiVincenzo's two-way play gave Minnesota flexibility to keep depth pieces like Naz Reid while still orbiting everything around Anthony Edwards' rise from star to inevitability. And then, the San Antonio Spurs. Last year, Wemby sidelined, direction unclear. This year, healthy Wemby, paired with De'Aaron Fox, plus real spacing and system stability, a pivot loud enough to skip the line. These aren't just dark horses, they're the next wave. If the old guard slips, these 4 are waiting to steal spots, and they won't ask for permission. This season won't be decided by one giant. It's a full-blown war, with every contender convinced they've cracked the code. The fight for the title, and even the top 10 is about to get brutal. What do you think? Who's coming out on top this season? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns.